Disneyland Resort is offering tickets for just $59. It's one of the most insane deals in Disney Parks history. How can you get it? Well, there's a catch. Let's talk about it today on That Park Place. All right, Vash, let's get into this one from NBC Los Angeles here by Helen Zhang, published just yesterday. Says, getting into the happiest place on earth typically comes with a hefty price tag, but Disneyland is offering cheaper tickets in July and early August, just in time for its 70th anniversary. Visitors have a chance to enjoy Disneyland Park of California Adventure. Oh, I think it meant to say or Disney California Adventure Park for just $59, but the catch is the cheaper tickets are for nighttime admission on Sundays through Wednesdays from July 12th through August 5th. The theme park announced Tuesday. The special price comes as Disneyland Resort is celebrating its 70th anniversary this year. The original Disney park in Anaheim opened on July 17th, 1955. For the limited time ticket holders, Disneyland Park will open at 7 p.m. until the park closes. What time does the park typically close?
Midnight.
Okay, so you're getting like 5 hours out of that. Disneyland California Adventure Park will welcome visitors at 5. $59 tickets need to be reserved in advance. Actually, you know what? I gotta say that this is not a bad deal, especially for locals like who are coming after work or whatever.
Right. And especially if you're on like the Enchant tier, because I think on the Enchant tier of the Magic Key, you are blocked out for pretty much all of summer, especially all of July. So okay. I think this is a way to, even if you did have a Magic Key, you can come on in, like you said, after work and take advantage of the amenities, which, by the way, Marvin, I scoured over this calendar to see, okay, what are the hours, like what are the restrictions, they're having the full entertainment slate, so that includes two performances of Paint Night, 2 performances of Fantasmic, fireworks on a nightly basis for those nights that are included with this deal right here, and like I said, closing at 12 a.m. or midnight, which it's a pretty solid deal, pretty solid offer right there. Now, here's the thing, folks. If you're thinking you're gonna get in here and the lines are going to be down, I think this is going to be the opposite effect, right? I think a lot of people are going to take advantage of this, and so expect those wait times and so forth and the crowds to climb during this time. But if this is what we got to do to necessarily have these parks open until 12 a.m., people will note that for the first time ever last year, Christmas, they closed at 11, which I didn't like at all. That was no good. But here, for this entire promotion right here, I think that's Sundays through Wednesdays from July and the first week of August. It's a pretty solid value, I must say, Marvin.
5 hours for $60? Yeah, I mean, you can't, that's the same amount of time that you typically be able to go to Walt Disney World for Not So Scary Halloween Party, and for that they're charging you almost $200.
Right. So you got to think about this. So how much of a value are we talking? The dates that are in question right here, they range from tier 2 to tier 4. Tier 2 being about $150 per person per day to get into Disneyland, that is, and then tier 4 is, I believe, $184. So on any one of those nights, whether it's tier 2 night, tier 3 night, or tier 4 night, you're getting in for $60. It's pretty decent right there, especially if you get one of those tier 4 days like a Sunday. That's it's incredible value when you think about that, and the entertainment offerings. I mean, second to none. I don't think there's any Disney park in the world that offers as much entertainment on a nightly basis that Disneyland does currently.
Okay. The California Adventure, does that close earlier? Does that close at 10?
That closes at 10, yeah. And they have...
So Disneyland is open so much later than Walt Disney World, because Walt Disney World parks, they're closing at 9, 10 o'clock.
It's a different reality over there at Disneyland. And that's why, from a Disneylander's perspective, I cannot stand the fact that those parks close as early as they do. It just, it fills me with rage, Marvin.
The only time you're getting to stay at Magic Kingdom until midnight is if there's a special event.
Right. Yeah, it really is something how, when it comes to the annual pass holder crowd, they just cater to them a little bit differently. And maybe that's because you have so many annual pass holders coming in from work usually, and so they have to facilitate those longer hours right there. Also, too, because of that distribution, they are better able to manage the crowds coming in and out of the Anaheim area. Because remember, unlike Walt Disney World, there's that transportation infrastructure. Part of that is on the city of Anaheim, so this helps with that as well. That's why you have the offset hours over there at DCA compared to Disneyland as well.
That is really insane, man. It really is an entire different. Well, you know, like I think they cater to annual pass holders differently in Disneyland because they actually cater to annual pass holders at Disneyland.
Sure.
Walt Disney World does not cater to annual pass holders at all. They do gloriously nothing. They used to. Now they offer discounts and stuff like that still, sure. But like you used to get like gifts and stuff like that for going to the festivals a certain number of times, like nice gifts too, like tumbler glasses and you know, champagne flutes and cutting boards and stuff like that. And now it's, you know, it's just so yeah. And so I'm looking at the chat right now. They're saying, do they still do physical lights on Sleeping Beauty Castle at Christmas?
They do. Yeah, but remember, our castle, well, I say our, the Disneyland castle is about 70 feet. So in terms of heights, it's a little bit different of a prospect, you know, in order to drape lights on that. And it doesn't look, they don't drape nearly as many lights, even with the smaller stature. I would say the percentage of lights to the actual castle is a little bit lower than what was actually on offer at Magic Kingdom, which is a little bit unfortunate, but they do still do lights. And, you know, look, I got to be honest, you know, when you're looking at the attraction assortment, when you go to Disneyland, when you're looking at the vast entertainment offerings, it's a tremendous value. The only thing I think it's missing is really dining. Dining, yes, the park is open longer, sure, but dining has been kind of withering away in terms of the hours of operation, you know, going from like 10 or 11 to like 9 or 8. So you might be at a little bit of a disadvantage when it comes to dining at Disneyland if that's the park you actually choose to embark in with this offering right here. Besides the fact, I think the value is there. I worry about operations because you're going to have a huge segment of guests. Maybe even lining up before that 7 p.m. start time. I do believe they might go a little bit early in order to, you know, prevent those crowds from really forming right there. But alas, I think there's going to be additional demand from Sundays through Wednesdays for the next month or so.
Well, that is a really good point there, Vash. So guys, yeah, right now, if you are a local in California and you want to get to Disneyland, but you don't want to pay, you know, all day Disneyland prices, you can get 5 hours for just $60. That is actually not bad at all. Kudos to Disneyland for doing something that actually helps the local population. And hey, Walt Disney World, ball's in your court now, buddy.
Thanks for watching That Park Plays News. For more information, consider checking out www.thatparkplace.com. And don't forget to subscribe, share, like, and send this out on your favorite social media accounts.